Ladies and Gentlemen, let the games begin. Entscheidende Session der Happy Bet European Darts Open 2017. Und wir starten mit einem Mann aus Schottland. Der ist die aktuelle Nummer 34 der Welt. Die 4 der Schotten hinter Gary Henderson, Peter Wright und Robert Thornton. Und er hat schon ein European Tour Finale erreicht. 2015 in München. Seitdem kein Viertelfinale mehr geschafft. Diese Negativserie endet also mit dem heutigen Tag. Aus den schottischen Highlands, der Highlander John Henderson. John Henderson tritt gegen den erfolgreichsten Spieler aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum an. Ein Mann, der ein tolles Jahr 2016 hingelegt hat. Er gewann seinen ersten PDC-Titel, das European Tour Event von Riesa. Er stand im Finale der European Darts Championship 2016 und ist längst einer aus den Top 10. Die aktuelle Nummer 7 der Welt aus Wien, the Gentle Mensur Suljovic. Best of 11 Legs, das ist die Distanz, die auf der European Tour gespielt wird, bis einschließlich zum Finale. Das heißt, man braucht 6 Legs, um jetzt in das Halbfinale einzuziehen. Und Caller des ersten Viertelfinals ist Paul Hinks.
Well, the 2017 European Darts Open here in Leverkusen is wide open because the last match we saw on that stage saw Michael van Gerwen beaten by the hot shot, the new boy in World Darts, Rob Cross, knocking out the world #1 and the #1 seed. It's blown the field wide open, and Mensur Suljovic will be hoping that he can add to his tally of titles, well, double his tally of titles on the European Tour. John Henderson, his opponent, is a man who's reached a final on the European Tour before, but he's having his best run for some time. We'll come to his form later on. The lineup for this evening, following this, will be Dave Chisnell against Peter Wright, both Euro Tour winners, then Gerwyn Price against Michael Smith, who could go outright second in terms of European Tour titles. And then it's Cross looking to continue his progress against Mervyn King, hoping to wear the crown tonight. But to kick us off, Mensur Suljovic has been hanging around all day. Got a bye to the quarterfinals because Joe Cullen withdrew, had to head home for a family emergency. Suljovic has been hanging around the venue in the practice room all day waiting for this match. He takes on John Henderson, who knocked out Alan Norris earlier on.
First leg is shown through first. Game on.
And the 9th man, the 9th player, the one that I haven't mentioned yet, is sitting next to me, Mr. Paul Nicholson.
Thanks, Murph. And one of the things that we seem to have forgotten in the midst of the MVG defeat, because he's got that many titles, is that the defending champion has been knocked out. So, are we going to have a new name on the European Open trophy? Or is it going to be someone like Wright, who's already won this tournament before?
16.
Well, at the very start of the weekend's play on Friday, opened by saying that the 3 men that have won European Tour titles this year, there's already been 7 European Tour events with the 3 men that have won the most between them, Michael van Gerwen, Peter Wright and Michael Smith. I asked the question, will a new venue inspire a new champion? And it could well happen. It could well be John Henderson. It will be interesting to see how Mensur waiting around will affect him in this match. He's used to making his opponent wait around, Paul.
I'm a bit surprised that Mensur actually waited around all day, because the hotel is not far away. What he could have done was go back to the hotel and have a little bit of a nap and just reset himself. But he knows his game better than anybody else, so who are we to say he's done the wrong thing?
100.
Well, he's only played 1 game to get here, and it was by no means spectacular, his 6-4 victory against Christian Kist. Henderson's played 3 matches to get to this stage, plus the qualifiers, of course, as well, where he won 2 games there. But he beat Ray Campbell 6-2, then continued his fantastic record against Belgium's Kim Huybrecht with a 6-4 victory, but had to survive match darts against Alan Norris this afternoon.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tussle earlier on this afternoon. There were a few
100.
shouts from the crowd on shots at double for the match. There were whistles and cuckoos and all sorts of things going on at the end of it, but Hendo got over the line He'll be chuffed that he's in the quarterfinals for the first time since Munich when he made the final.
Yeah, first time he's been in the quarterfinals of anything since September last year. Suljovic looking at treble 19. Yeah, that day was a Players' Championship event. Henderson went on to make the semi-final in Barnes. They lost out to Michael van Gerwen. So it's come from nowhere, really, this run, but it's catapulted him in to the world's top 32 once again.
And he only found that out after the game today. He is stoked to be back in the world's top 32. And why not? Suljovic for a first leg and a break. Gets it. Had a few troubles with his doubles in his first game against Christian Kist. Missed his customary double 14 more times than I have ever seen in my entire commentary career. And indeed my playing career, I think. So he'll be thrilled to be back straight into the doubles right now.
And looking at the lineup, Paul, we've got 4 Englishmen, 2 Scots, a Welshman and an Austrian in the form of Mensur Suljovic. No Dutchman, and it's been a long time since that's happened on the European Tour. The first time there's not been a Dutch player in the last 8 since the 2014 European Darts Grand Prix. If you're looking for an omen, that was won by Mervyn King.
And who did he beat in the final? Michael Smith.
Well, they can't meet in the final today. They can meet in the semi-final. They're at the opposite half of the draw to this pair. The winner of this taking on the winner of our next match between Dave Chisnell and Peter Wright.
41.
Hey, you mentioned Hendo. He's one of 2 guys left in the quarterfinals who have played 5 games up to this point. That is Hendo and Mervyn King, who,
60.
being a seed for the last 2 European events, was a qualifier this time around, but he's still in the quarters, as he was 1 week ago.
He's also the only man in the field looking for his first PDC title. John Henderson. Rob Cross and Gerwyn Price have won PDC titles, but not European Tour events, so it could be the next stage of progression in one of their careers. Anyway, Suljovic, is he going to go for the bullseye? I think he is.
136.
It's the first swan dive of the night. The gesticulation of the gentle Mensur Suljovic. Needs them all, John.
140.
Can't see Mensur missing this one. What's he going to do? 988? Conventionally, Mensur Suljovic goes for 9 and 88. Double 4.
Well, it's not a word that you'd often attribute to Mensur Suljovic, is it? Conventional.
No.
And missing doubles is not something that you often see Mensur Suljovic do, but he could be made to pay because the Highlander wants double 18 for a 156. What a shot from John Henderson!
How to get a crowd on your side and influence people. The book, written by John Henderson. What a shot. 156. The Barneveld. Done by the Scotsman.
Highland flinging. John Henderson breaks straight back with a huge check out. After Suljovic had missed 3 darts. 1 at the bull. 1 at double 8, 1 at double 4. John Henderson just needed 1 at double 18 after firing 2 into the treble 20 bed.
You've got to tip your hat, haven't you? 296 and 6 darts. There's only 1 dart that really missed, and that was a 20.
100.
Think about it, it's actually perfect, isn't it? 296 and 6. You can't really do it any better than that.
It is, and you said, Paul, you need them all when he went up for the 180 the visit before. He proved that he didn't.
It'll not be the first or the last time that Hendo proves me wrong about something. I guarantee you that.
Well, the place is rocking. John Henderson is rocking, as he always does. 2 of the most unconventional throws in darts here, isn't it?
Well, sometimes unconventional can be brilliant. All you've got to do is look at Philip Taylor.
Or just look at Mensur Suljovic, who could, if he was to go all the way and win the tournament, go as high as number 5 in the world this weekend.
That's amazing.
177.
He would do that with 2 PDC titles. That is ridiculous when you think about it.
It shows how often he goes deep into tournaments. But John Henderson
60.
has caught light a bit here. A 177 has left him 16 after 12. And he finds the bottom corner of the double. And he's turned this match on its head.
That was a fantastic camera angle, just to see the adjustment that was needed. John missed it to the left. His dart is kicked to the right, just covered up the top half of the bed.
58.
The adjustment was to the right and low. Brilliant dart from John Henderson.
Yeah, super stuff from Henderson, and he's certainly found a zone. I just stopped in his mid-rock there, John Henderson.
I don't know whether someone shouted out or whether he just didn't feel that one.
We haven't seen a 180 yet in this match. We have now.
Perfect segue, Murph. Well done. Don't think it'll be the last.
A 177 from Henderson in the previous leg. Suljovic responding with a 180. Starting to be a tasty encounter, this one already.
Hang about.
140.
Well, he's disgusted with the 140. The standards, unbelievable.
Henderson needs all three to leave a finish.
Well, he does this time.
And he's obliged. And we know that he's got a big finish in him. He's already produced one. But will he get a chance?
Well, Mensur's on notice, isn't he, after that 156. He doesn't want to leave anything for Henderson the way he's playing. So, go for it. It's going to be ball.
76.
Double swan dive.
Yeah, a bit of a pull on the shot for the ball. Now Henderson, can he just make Suljovic sweat? Sweating.
Tell you what, that'll look good to his eye.
37.
All the same, what pressure from the big Scotsman. Hit this, Suljovic. Otherwise, I'm going to hit double 12. Double 14. Is it awkward? It might have been. Now, Henderson 3-1 lead, double 12.
Well, Suljovic missed a couple of darts earlier on, and Henderson took out the 156. The equation is a hell of a lot smaller this time. But given 3 darts at double, he couldn't do the job.
Well, I'll be sick to his stomach, John. That was a huge opportunity to get a 2-leg gap. And he doesn't need 2 attempts coming to the hockey.
Yeah, Henderson would have taken complete control of the match had he found the double 12. But still in a very strong position, having won the bullseye in the practice room. He doesn't need to break Mensur Suljovic from this point on.
You mentioned, Chris, that this could turn into a bit of a humdinger. I'm really enjoying this match because it's got had toing and throwing. It's got frustration from Suljovic. It's got missed darts from John.
Yeah, 180 apiece. Already had a big check out as well.
One thing we haven't spoken about yet, as the crowd think it's a 180, is Suljovic at an advantage here because he hasn't had a game this afternoon?
Well, I guess we will only find out at the end of this match. Questioned the decision, Paul, didn't we, at the start of the contest?
81.
Mensur Suljovic to stay in the practice room all day. He's basically got here before even Mervyn King for his first match.
That's pretty early. Bearing in mind that Mervyn usually gets here about
95.
minimum of 6 hours before he's supposed to play it. Yeah, Mensur was one of the first people here this morning.
Yeah, of course he had to be, and it was very late that Joe Cullen found out his bad news and had to leave, so Suljovic has had to handle it.
140.
Now, the 140 should make Suljovic favourite for this leg. But John Henderson, yeah, you can see the disappointment.
Bit leave though.
It is.
Now, biggest visit of the match so far. No tops here, because it's 2 darts at double 10. It's a great finish. And the first headbutt celebration, it's a double headbutt celebration from the gentle.
Well, the pair had met on 3 previous occasions. Once in 2015, once last year, and once earlier on this year. And Mensur Suljovic won each of those meetings. Henderson looking to record his first win against the gentle.
He's a bogey player of quite a few players. I will say that. He's definitely one of mine. I haven't beaten Mensur yet.
Well, a little ploy.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. I've beat him in the World Cup once.
A little ploy you might have seen in the background, then just heard the crowd singing his name and gave him the double thumbs up, Andrew Gilding style.
That's compelling stuff. It really is. You've got to admire the brilliance of both guys. This is an important game for both guys, probably more so for John, because if he can really go deep here, possibly get to the final or win this could be career-changing.
Well, he's in a happy position of, despite it being a really huge game for him, he's playing without much pressure because he's so happy with what he's achieved this weekend, not just in terms of reaching a quarter-final, we know that he's capable of doing that, but having secured his place at Blackpool in the World Match Play next month, having got back into the top 32 of the world rankings, John Henderson can relax. And often a relaxed dart player is a dangerous dart player.
That's very true. But we know that John Henderson desperately wants a PDC title to add to the brilliant BDO resume that he had. What we can't forget as well is that when John joined the PDC, he went deep in a tournament in Germany from the very start of his career.
He didn't hit a 9-darter almost straight away as well, John Henderson.
Pretty much. Get the feeling now that John might have to get his trainers on. He's going to have to start catching up to Mensur in a minute. He's going to have to pray that Suljovic doesn't hit his tops.
Well, if he prayed, there was no answer. Well, not the one he wanted anyway. Mensur Suljovic opens up a 2-leg lead. And again, Suljovic just acknowledging the encouragement from the crowd.
Yeah, when John joined the PDC a few years ago, his first PDC ranked event was at the Jerry Weber Centre in Halle, the German Darts Championship. And I believe he made the semi-finals.
16.
He is actually well liked in Germany, John Henderson, isn't he?
Oh, he's liked everywhere he goes, Big John.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting otherwise, but the crowd have got a few little John Henderson chants. I remember a tournament in Berlin a couple of years ago when I'd just been wandering around the city and crowds of people would start singing a John Henderson song.
Well, I like the very simple Hendo, Hendo. Well, there's only one Hendo, isn't there?
140.
Well, Big John has got to start finding that first dart in that 60.
100.
It's a good ton. Just get the feeling that Suljovic is in a very comfortable position in this match right now. Feels like he's bossing it a little bit. He's got that 2-leg cushion. Swan dive over the top. Oh, he's going to go to the left. Oh, and he hits it in the middle.
Beautifully constructed maximum from Mensur Suljovic. Leaves him 1-2-1.
57.
Now look at the bullseye first start here.
121.
Treble 20 is going to be his first target. He'll go for treble 17, but he didn't need it. Now he needs a treble.
87.
Or a bullseye right in the middle again. He did that last night on a finish. Certainly knows it. Those bullseyes does the Austrian.
Well, you know, we spoke about him waiting around here all day.
55.
It might have just given him a little bit more added incentive for this match, because the last thing you want to do is wait hours and hours to get on the stage and then blow it when you get there.
Shock horror. 34 left. 6 for double 14. old favourites. Has he got enough chalk on that dart? Yes.
Being shown the seventh flag, Suljovic. 8 flag is Henderson is the first.
And once again, Mensur Suljovic's best friend comes to his rescue. Double 14. That's becoming the combination. You know, when people ask the question now and again, give me a player and a double to save your life, who would you want? It used to be Wade on 10s or Thornton on tops or Phil Taylor on just about anything, but Mensur Suljovic on double 14's got to be in the equation.
I think it's number one. I really do. I think aside from last night where he missed a couple of visits at it, which I've never seen. I've never seen any dart player so good on one double in all the years I've been playing darts, and he just hits it with such regularity and such confidence. I mean, I thought Mervyn King was good at double 16, but he's taken it to a different level. I mean, last night when he won the match on double 14, a very scrappy game, he took his dart out of the board and actually kissed the double.
It looks like John Henderson is stuck in the quicksand here and sinking fast. Led 2-1 in this match.
96. Mensur required 96.
From Mensur Suljovic wants 96 to make it 5 legs on the spin, and yet another European to a semi-final place.
Guess what? Oh, that's a wide.
Well, he's got time on his side. Henderson's not on a finish.
Well, both of these guys are really going to figure next week, aren't they, in the Players' Championships in Barnsley. They will relish the fact that the big guys aren't going to be there. Mensur looking to go through now. Will it be so?
Well, 3 darts in his hand. Double 14 the target. Oh, he's found double 11. Downstairs for double 3. And Henderson's going to get a chance. Suljovic busts it because he leaves double 14. This would be bigger than a 156. Not going to happen. Surely this time, Suljovic. Surely this time, Paul Nicholson.
58. Mensur required 28.
Well, he's just telling us that he's human on double 14. That's all it is.
Yeah, just after we've said double 14 to save your life.
Commentators curse not. Suljovic gets through against a fantastic effort from John Henderson. He's had a great tournament. He's definitely going to the World Match Play this year, but Suljovic is going to the semis. Yeah,
what a weekend for John Henderson. Marks a return to the top 32 in the PDC Order of Merit. The highlight for the Highlander in this match was a 156 checkout, but Mensur Suljovic won 5 legs on the spin to take a 6-2 victory and book his place in the semi-finals of the European Darts Open. He'll take home the winner of our next match between Dave Chisholm and Peter Wright, and then it's Gerwyn Price against Michael Smith and Mervyn King against the man who knocked out Michael van Gerwen, Rob Cross. Stay tuned, all the action to come, but Mensur Suljovic is the first man through to the last 4.
Applaus für John Henderson. Seit langem nochmal ein richtig gutes Turnier von ihm. Er, der so gerne hier nach Deutschland kommt. Mensur, gratuliere dir. Und war doch gut.
Das war sehr gut, aber zuerst muss ich Joe Cullen und seinem Papa, Familie alles Bestes wünschen, wirklich von Herzen. Mir hat es wirklich heute getroffen, aber ich wünsche wirklich von Herzen das Beste so, und hier mein Bestes geben und hat gut geklappt heute.
Das müssen wir, glaube ich, kurz nochmal erzählen. Joe Cullen hat heute sein Achtelfinale kurzfristig abgesagt, weil sein Vater einen Herzinfarkt erlitten hat. Der ist sofort in den Flieger gestiegen, nach Hause geflogen. War erstmal ein Schreck für alle. Ist das dann trotzdem nur oder am Nachmittag nicht spielen zu müssen ein Vorteil für dich, weil es weniger Belastung ist?
Ist weniger Belastung auf jeden Fall. Ich habe mich fokussieren können auf nächstes Spiel. Aber trotzdem immer mit Gedanken wirklich beim Joe. Muss ich ehrlich sagen, er ist ein super Kerl und ich wünsche ihm wirklich das Beste für ihn und für Familie.
Menzo letztes Jahr den ersten PDC-Titel geholt in Riesa, in diesem Jahr schon 2 European Tour Finals auch erreicht. Deine Konstanz, sie ist weiterhin wirklich sensationell gut. Ist der nächste Titel hier in Leverkusen drin?
Ich hoffe, sie gibt mein Bestes, aber weiß man nie. Die anderen schlafen auch nicht.
Das habe ich auch gehört, das stimmt. Menzo Suljovic, den sehen wir also später wieder im Halbfinale. Und er wird